Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dad Zillosaur, and welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play Survival Guide series. All right, so this episode is going to be probably kind of a short one, and really it's about kind of reviewing some of the things we've done since the last episode. I don't like to do significant things off camera. However, there are some things that get done just little by little, and they're fairly insignificant, but they cumulatively add up to something. So this is just going to kind of catch us up to date on what we've done. First of all, you might notice I've got some cats in here. I've tamed a few cats. It's real easy to do when you find a cat. Usually when new villagers spawn, often a cat will also spawn. And if you feed them raw fish, you can make them your pet. And then if you sit them down, they'll stay. Now, the benefit is creepers are afraid of cats. And what was happening to me in here is I would get, tied up in organizing this storage room as we're kind of trying to put it together here. And I would lose track of time, and it would be nighttime, and the zombies would come and break down the door. A creeper would wander in and come in here. And I swear, like 2, 3, maybe even 4 times, I'm over here, and all of a sudden, boom, and I have to replace all my furnaces, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of a pain. So what I've done is I've just placed a cat here, and I've placed a couple cats outside the front door, and now creepers, even if I do lose track, and creepers come up to the porch here, as soon as they see the cats, they'll just turn around and leave. Okay, so anyway, all right, so one of the things we've done here, let's go look at some of our enchantments. We did a little bit of enchantment. We started enchanting in the last episode, and I continue to work on a few things between some of the books I've gotten out of random chests. Most of them were fishing, but there was a couple, like there was a raid tower, a pillager tower raid we did, and I also found one in a chest, I think, in a desert temple or something like that. At any rate, and then the rest of these are all fishing. So between the enchantment table and some of these books, and we can put the enchantments on with the anvil, and we'll do some of that shortly. Maybe not this episode, but I've been working on a little bit of armor, kind of getting ready. So you can see I've got a couple pieces of armor here that are not enchanted. These down here are enchanted. So this one, it's got, this has got protection 4 and mending. I love to put mending on all my armor. That way it lasts forever, as long as I don't let it break. Protection 4, great all around general protection. I like to use that for my basic armor for the overworld, my unspecialized armor, just general protection. And this also has the added benefit of respiration 3, which is terrific, because if we're out finding sunken ships and that sort of thing, it's not so stressful being underwater. We have protection 4 on this one. I'm not a big fan of thorns, but it's one of the things that popped up on there. It's got mending on there. This one's got fire protection 3. I like to have a different set of armor for the nether, and I like to have 3 of my 4 pieces of armor be fire protection 4. And then I like a general protection, maybe all fire protection 4, but I like to have some general protection as well. This is fire protection 3, so I went ahead and took that. And if we get another fire protection 3 book, or when we do our trading haul, we'll be able to get that up to fire protection 4. The great thing about fire protection 4 is if you get at least 3 pieces on there, if you get all 4 pieces, you can pretty much just kind of walk in lava and nothing's going to happen. It's kind of like having the potions. All right, so here we got protection 4 and mending. That's a great general pair of pants. Feather falling, and not too excited about blast protection. That'll be good for the wither fight, or if I'm in a scenario where I'm really worried about getting creepers sneaking up behind me. This one's got feather falling 4, projectile protection. Not what I was after either. I suppose if I'm going to go try to hunt down skeletons and stuff like that, it could be helpful. And then we have a gold pair of boots that we're going to use in the nether. These are a pretty good start. I'd like to get that fire protection up to 4, but feather falling 4, great in the nether. Unbreaking is great on gold armor because the gold armor wears out so fast, and mending also helps that as well. Now, also, you'll notice down here, we have some tools, and I've been carrying these. So this is a good start on my sword. Looting 3, that's great for collecting things. Sharpness 4. that's pretty good. I'd like to get that to sharpness 5, but sharpness 4 is pretty good on breaking 3 and mending. That's awesome. This is a pretty decent bow. So we got some flame, some power 4. I'd like to get that to power 5 and punch 2. So it knocks when you hit somebody with it, it knocks it back a little bit. That's very handy in bastions because, you know, there's lots of opportunities to fall into lava in the bastion. So if especially when you start coming across the piglin brutes, if you hit them with your with a punch bow, it'll knock them back a little bit. Oftentimes it'll knock them right off whatever they're standing on and into the lava. Problem solved. So we have a silk touch. Efficiency 4 on breaking and mending. That's a great pickaxe. We have another pickaxe over here that's got Fortune 3 now. So I had Fortune 2, which was a book. I think that's the book we got out of the Pillager Tower. And then I had another Fortune 2, so I just added it to this one. And now that's a pretty darn good pickaxe as well. So we have a shovel here with Efficiency 4. And mending, and all right, so that's our diamond pickaxe. It's a pretty good pickaxe. Would love to see efficiency on there. And then we have a hoe here, Fortune 2. Now the great thing, a lot of people overlook hoes. I'm going to put mending on here as well. I love Fortune on hoes because when you're farming with it and you're harvesting your crops, it'll amplify the amount of return you get on that, which is just terrific. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. I'm going to go ahead and, as you can see right now, I've got all my iron armor on still. That helmet is about to go. I'm going to leave this iron armor on until next episode when we go to the nether, until my initial spawn into the nether. Sometimes if you get a spawn and you're right on the edge and you're not careful and you step off, you fall right into lava and immediately die. And then you'll, since I don't have netherite armor, I'll lose everything. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this iron armor on until we spawn into the nether. And then I'll come right back, put the good armor on, and then we will... start working in another. I also wanted to visit give you an update on our emerald inventory here. So as you can see, we have several stacks of emeralds. I did nothing exciting to get this. All I did was make a few trips back and forth between my farm and the village and trade with them. I did run over to, I do have a cartographer villager that I have a good trade with where he will give me emeralds for glass. So I did make one run over to a desert, collected a few stacks of glass, and made some trades because I wanted to level him up. We did get an ocean monument map, but we did not get the woodland mansion map. So I'll have to get I have another cartographer table over there. I think it's about to be dark soon here. And yeah. I have another cartographer table over there, so we'll get another cartographer. We'll level him up, and hopefully we'll get a woodland map, woodland mansion map from him. All right, another cool trick with cats. If you let them stand up when you go to sleep, they will very often bring you a gift. So let's see what happens. There he goes, lays on my legs. Nice. Okay, I wake up, he comes right over here. Okay, so this time he brought me some rotten flesh. Not great, but, you know, better than nothing. Once in a while, you get some cool stuff. Once in a great while, it's pretty low, but they'll give you phantom membranes. And phantom membranes are used for a couple things. Once you get your elytra, if you don't have mending on them, you can use them to repair your elytra. I'll always put mending on mine, though. But more importantly, from my point of view, phantom membranes are good for potions of slow falling, which will be very handy when it comes to our upcoming dragon fight in a future episode. Okay, so now, since I made a lot of that armor, you can see our diamond inventory is pretty low. So, and I do have my fortune pickaxe on me. Great. So what we're going to do is I also started a mine. And let me go ahead and show you that. All right, so I did spend a little bit of time kind of making the entrance look nice. We got a little more work to do, but it looks pretty decent. I started with some vines out here, and then we've got some leaves kind of making it look like it's overgrown. We got some supports here, some random lighting. I also have a cat up here to keep creepers from wandering in and sneaking up behind me. I kind of like the way that entrance looks, and every stage, this cross beam section here gets a little bit smaller, so it kind of it makes it look deeper than it actually is. So that's kind of fun. And then if you just do random blocks around, it kind of gives you a good more of a natural look than if it was all one type of block. Kind of makes it look like it might have been something carved into the side. Okay. So let's go down now. I have a couple of pockets of diamonds. Like I said, I don't like to do things significantly off camera. So what I did was, as I needed to collect some blocks just for some of the projects, and so I got this mine started. We're going to do a rail cart system here, an auto unloader and stuff like that. I didn't do anything like that. I'll do all that on camera. Got a little auto smelter setup going here in a bed. But whenever I came across diamonds, I did not mine them. So I figured I would do that on camera. I don't like it when, for me personally, when I'm watching YouTube Minecraft series, you know, it's a little suspect when you come back to a new episode and you hear, oh yeah, I did a little bit of work offline and then or off camera, and then you see, you know, a full double chest of diamonds, and you know, it gets a little questionable. So at any rate, I'm gonna have Searcher on just a little bit because I've been finding these diamonds. I was doing a little work on this a little bit at a time. So I would do an episode and then I would work a little bit on this mine. It was quite a bit of digging out to do, and it's not done yet, but it's a start. And so some of the diamonds have been sitting there for a while, so I kind of forgot what they are. Now, one more thing though before I go searching for the diamonds. As you can see, and I've mentioned this before, I've got my main corridors in a couple directions in a 3x3. And the reason I do that, and shoot, I should have showed you my slime collection before we came down here. It's up in the inventory room. But it's a great way to start building up your inventory of slime because, you know, you will just randomly dig through slime chunks. And then as you're down here, they'll start spawning and you just collect up your slime balls. And then you can start building up an inventory pretty easily. In a single player scenario, you probably don't even, if you just use this technique for your main corridor and then you do your single wides for your branch mining. Some people just, you know, do the poke holes. I kind of enjoy just doing a full 3 high line here. But if you just do that through the normal course of your mining, you'll probably collect enough slime to suit your needs without having to build an automated farm. So for me personally, I will build some redstone stuff as we get into the series, but honestly, I really enjoy doing the manual work. It's part of the fun of the game for me. Some people really like automating everything. I kind of like having this stuff to do. I think it's fun. It's kind of like a level of satisfaction, if you will, for me. All right, so let's see. So here is, I'm going to mine, I'm going to create this little stairway down with my silk touch because I can then just collect stone blocks instead of cobblestone. And then we'll hit these, I've already dug out around them, so they're nice and safe. So what we got here? We got 4 or 5, looks like there's 6 blocks here. We got our fortune 3 now. Let's see what we get. All right, what do we got? So 14, not too bad. 14 out of 6. So that's not quite triple, but it's better than double. All right, so that's 1 vein of diamonds. Let's see if we can find, oh, here's another one right here. Okay, great. This one's not completely dug out yet, but I think we're fairly safe. Okay, so we're starting with 14. Just want to make sure there's no lava under here. Okay, now we got 28, so that was another 14. Not too bad. All right, let's see. I think there was at least one more pocket down here. Okay, here we go. So there's another little pocket. Looks like it's about 5. So we're starting with 28. All right, 37. So that was 9 more. And I actually had forgotten about that one. I think there's another pocket around the corner here. Yeah, okay. So this is a pocket. This looks like it might be a vein of 8 diamonds. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 7. No, 8, because there's one up there. This is what I mean also by digging them out, because it might have been easy to, I mean, you probably would have saw it because it was directly above this one. Now, it's possible that this could have been on an angle, and then it would be really easy to miss. So I would really recommend digging out your diamonds for 2 reasons. Number one, if there was lava under here and you didn't know it, as soon as you mine one of these bottom ones, it could have fallen into the lava. And so this way we know these are all safe. So anyway, here we go. We got 37. Let's see what we get. Well, there's a case in point right there. And hopefully I didn't lose that diamond to the lava. Still got 38. See, I lost a diamond there. Thought I was being careful, but I had missed a block of lava, obviously. There we go. So really what I should have done here, and this is the way to do it, when you think there might be lava, put the water bucket down and leave it. Because then if you do run into lava, the water will instantly convert the lava and it'll protect your diamonds. Okay, so we did lose out on a diamond there, which is too bad. My own darn fault. I know better, and I did it anyway. So we got 45 now, so that's still not too bad. 45 diamonds. Okay, so let's go put those away, and then we'll get on to the next phase here. Ah, and there you go. So here's just a random slime. So we'll collect this guy up. Did I get anything? Oh, I do have some slime in my inventory here from last time, but that's not all I have. I have a bunch in a chest up there. I didn't notice how many slimes I had to start with, so I don't know if I ended up getting anything from that one or not. Sometimes when you knock them down, they don't give you anything. So I'm gonna go out this way because it is a 3x3 tunnel, and it's possible. I'm gonna run down to the end real quick because it's possible there might be some more slime. Obviously, there was a slime there, so we are either in or close to a slime chunk where there could be more slimes. And once in a while when you're doing these tunnels, you break into these big rooms, and oftentimes that's where you find more diamonds. And you can see this is about where I got, and I started to go down a little farther. Looks like when I was here last, my inventory filled up, so there's a couple of blocks there. Okay, no slime here today. All right. So I ran past here, and yeah, there's hearing zombie noises. There could be a spawner up there, or it could just be, it's pretty dark, so there could just be a bunch of zombies up there. Now, also, while I was mining, and I broke into one of these caverns, I went up and found some more spawners. So we now have a lot of spawners. So we're going to be one of the reasons we need to go to the Nether is we need to collect some stuff so we can start turning those spawners into grinders, experienced grinders, and so for some good drops as well. And I don't recall where they are from here, but what I did was when I found them, I just created a staircase up to the top, and then I marked the coordinates so we can get back to them pretty easily once we have what we need. Yeah, right in here I also found, this is where I found it's a regular spider spawner. It's not a cave spider, so we have several cave spider spawners from the mine, from the abandoned mine shaft. But this one is just a good old-fashioned regular spider spawner. So we have all the spawners. Let me see if there was any cool things that I didn't have room for. And yeah, name tag. Another name tag. Some gunpowder. We'll bring that back with us since we got room in our inventory. All right, but we'll be able to turn this into a grinder. This is a pretty easy location, pretty easy to get to, and we'll get some good drops from this. It won't be a great... spider spawners don't make great experience spawners, but you get a lot of spider eyes, a lot of string from it for magnet stuff. Oh, hello, Mr. Skeleton. I don't have my shield on. That's probably not good because my helmet's about to die too. Let's see if it survived it. We still have a helmet. How about that? Okay. All right, so next little thing I wanted to show is I started a tree farm. As you can see, the map is a little more filled in now than it was before. In between projects, I got a little bit bored. You can also see I've done some more work on texturing here on the path. But I filled in the map some more, and I found a dark oak forest. So now we have dark oak trees as well. So we started the spruce one a while ago. Early on, we needed a spruce one, so we had enough spruce to build the base. And now we have a bunch of other trees as well. So we have some acacias going here. We have a few jungle trees going. We got some spruce. Some you can see some oaks back there, and now you can see some dark oaks here as well. So this is kind of a handy little place. Whenever I cut them down, then I replant them right away. And so we'll always have plenty of wood for projects. So oftentimes I'll do a lot of farming of wood off camera because, you know, you don't need to watch me chop down trees for half an hour. I also wanted to have a look at the farm. I kind of glanced over the farm and what we did here before. Oh yeah, I did a lot. Now that I have Silk Touch, I was able to get some different blocks. So we have shoot, I always forget what these are called, but we have some various blocks here, and I added some stones and buried some steps and slabs. Really, you vary it up, and it starts to look pretty cool. And then once we get to the bottom, it starts to get a little more stony, and it kind of looks like a well-worn path that took quite a bit of time. And then I kind of tried to create some of these boulders here. I kind of lifted this technique here from the Mythical Sausage. He's a very creative, very entertaining as well. Very creative Minecraft builder. His builds are just amazing, and he'll randomly arrange these stones like that to make them look like boulders, so they're not just a bunch of square blocks that we're supposed to believe are boulders. A little bit more on the village wall there in a second, but I wanted to get back to the farm and just go over what we did and why we did it real quick. So this farm, I wasn't too worried about how it looks, although I think it looks okay. This farm, really, I set it up for efficiency. The purpose of this farm really is to get rich, emerald rich, by trading with those villagers. Now, there are a lot prettier ways to make farms, but I just find when you're trying to harvest crops in volume, I find it easier just to do them in straight lines. Because, you know, when you start to harvest, you just go in a straight line, you harvest it up real quick. Really no explanation needed. It's just faster, I find, harvesting in straight lines. Now, since these are on, normally what you could do for water is everywhere where you see the log turn into a plank, underneath there's a water block. So normally you place one water block and then you got 4 in each direction, but I went ahead and I terraced this farm, so it drops down by level. I think it just gave it a little bit more depth. It's subtle, but I like the way it looks, so it makes it a little harder to farm everything. And then I put these barrels at the end for storage. So when I harvest a row, which also, as an aside, you can see that I have rotated crops. So we've got wheat, carrots, potatoes, beetroot, so it's not the same crops next to each other. My understanding is they will grow faster that way. We also have the bees here, which all these beehives are fully populated, and they routinely fly across to those flowers over there and drop pollen on my crops, which also helps speed it up. So what I do is I'll run down, I'll harvest a row, and then I'll throw what I got in here. I don't have too much in here right now because I've been trading, but if I go down this row and then this other row of wheat, I'll probably get 6 stacks with my, since I have a Fortune 2 hoe now, I'll probably get 6, maybe a little more complete stacks of wheat, which is great. And then I have a lot of seeds that I don't even really need, so I throw them over here in that chest over there, which is hooked up to the to a composter. I've got nothing in there right now. And it turns it into bone meal for me. So starting from the end of a row, I went in 4, placed a water block, and then you can go 8 because you get a reach of 4 from that side and then a reach of 4 from that side coming this way. So every 8 blocks there's a water block, and that fully hydrates 4 blocks in that direction. And then when there's a step down, I just did exactly the same thing. Right, so all these, and then there's another step down, and again, you'll see the same thing here. Your sugarcane, of course, is different. It has to be directly adjacent to water. So I've got this whole stream underneath these are slabs, are filled with water. I like doing the slabs here because as you harvest this stuff, you can see sugarcane falls everywhere. When it falls into the water, it's really not a big deal, but you gotta, you'll go in there and then you gotta jump out. It just slows you down. This way I can just go break a bunch of crops and I just run along the path and I pick them all up. And you can build up a lot of sugarcane really fast. All right, so that's the farm. Now over here, I do have, this is hilarious. What are you doing up there? How did you get up there? because this was tall before you spawned. Did you spawn up there? All right, so anyway, so I've got this bamboo here. I don't have a panda yet, and really my main use for the bamboo so far has just been building scaffolding. But I have plenty of scaffolding right now, so I really haven't been harvesting the bamboo. But when I need it, it's here. All right, so now I realized, and I talked before about I've seen I've got this entrance and exit here into the pen I got from the Neo-Cubist, and I love it because they can't get out because they can't figure out how to jump up to that ladder, but it's easy for us. And when you're holding your wheat, it'll follow you right in. You have no gate. You don't have to fight anybody to get in and out. It's just so easy. Brilliant design. I don't know if the Neo-Cubist came up this himself or if he saw it somewhere, but I saw it from him. But because we are by a taiga biome, I came out here one day and had no sheep, and I was very confused. At first, I thought there was a glitch. Also, I had been breeding my cows, and I was like, why is my cow pen not filling up? Then I realized, yeah, the sheep can get in here when you're leading them, but so can wolves. So the wolves were coming in here and eating all my sheep, and I had more cows than sheep, so they didn't eat all the cows, but they ate a bunch of the cows. So at any rate, so this is not, it's an easy solution, so I just put a fence around it. Now, when I'm trying to get somebody to come in there, I just open them up and leave them up, and it's just as easy. You just lead them in, and then they walk in like they always did, and then they can't get out. So it's really not a big deal. And then when I'm done, I close this up, and then no wolves can get past the fence, and then everybody's safe. I've used this design for a while, never had a problem, but I never built a pen in a because that's a taiga biome right up there near a taiga biome where there are wolves spawning, so it just never occurred to me. So there you go. So if you build this design, it's a great design, but if you build it near a taiga biome, you're going to have to add a little fence. And I like to do a double gate, because if you do a single gate, sometimes if you're leading several cows or sheep, they'll kind of get funneled here, and there'll be a log jam, and they can't get through. But if you do a double gate and you leave them both open, you don't have that problem, and it's almost like not having it there at all. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the improvement to the path, and again, I just kind of did that little by little. Once I got Silk Touch, though, then I was able to do some significant work. I think it looks pretty good. Now, I left, there are, every so often, there's a path block that's got a torch underneath it, and that lights this up pretty good to the point where I don't need torches on here. At night, this path is lit up, and things don't spawn on my path anywhere. They have to spawn in the dark, a little off the path, just like they would if I had torches or lanterns out. So that's a pretty cool fix. Okay, so as I mentioned, while I was out filling in the map a little bit, I did find that dark oak forest, and so I was able to start on my wall. So this is a design. It's probably not completely finished yet, but I think this looks better than what I had before. I like contrast. It's a little more functional here, the way the peaks here line up with the peaks on the brick wall, so it leaves it pretty functional. So that when if I do a raid, if I try to defend a raid from here, and again, like I mentioned before, we're going to go all the way around with this. Maybe I'll put some fencing or some trapdoors up to keep me from falling off of that. But it's kind of neat. So you walk up here, and you've got easy access to your foes. And all right, so it's getting dark. All right, and then the only other thing I did in the village here, since we have a villager who likes to trade gray wool for emeralds, there was a couple of sheep just kind of wandering around here, so I dyed them both gray. So there's one up there. Yeah, that's him. He looks like he... yeah, there you go. He just ate, so now he's gray again. Then there's one up here somewhere. So there's two sheep here. Now I have several. That's why, if you notice, when we were by the pens, I have more gray sheep than anything else, because the villager here who wants to trade wants gray wool. So that's what I have, is gray sheep. And then I did add, what I didn't have a farmer who traded for wheat, and I needed that, so I added these composters here. Still didn't get a farmer for wheat, so I came over here, and we had this open area over here, so I just planted some wheat, put down 2 more composters, and one of the 2 here trades for wheat. Now the other thing I did was I used some of my name tags to name them, and I just named them whatever they like to trade for. So you can see this guy's name is Beetroot, so I know without having to come all the way up to him, as soon as I get close enough, I can see what he wants. And so when I'm coming in here with what I have in my inventory to trade, it's easy to find the right farmer. It's not such a problem with the other guys, but farmers, you have so many farmers and they all look the same. Until you come right up on them and click on them. So I just name them what they trade, and so that makes it easier. So now I have at least 1 farmer for the 4 main crops I am growing. And the other thing we did was, like I mentioned, we got some little guys growing up here. Alright, so there's cartographer 1. So I put another cartographer table in here. Maybe when that little guy over there grows up, he'll take the job. And I'll name the other cartographer 2. Now I maxed this guy out, hoping that I would get a woodland mansion map. So this map here at the apprentice level was the map for an ocean monument. So we'd found one of those on our travels, and now we have a mapped one. I don't know if it's the same one. I haven't looked yet. But then oftentimes, if you trade them all the way up, they'll do another map, and that map at one of these higher levels can be a woodland mansion map. In this case, it didn't work out that way. So but I like his early trades. So you can see for 24 sheets of paper, I can get an emerald. But even better than that, 11 panes of glass, I can get an emerald. So every time I go to a desert, I'm going to bring back some sand and smelt up some glass, because again, that's some pretty easy emeralds. Okay, so now we're just waiting for another villager to take the job for the second cartographer table, and we'll take another shot at getting a woodland mansion map. Our mending villager is still alive and well, and that's about all I believe that's all I've done in the village. So nothing too serious, nothing worthy of doing an entire episode on, but I just wanted to give you that update. Okay, so we're going to start closing this episode up. I did mention that we have a bunch of spawners located now, and so we're going to start to turn those into grinders. But in order to do that, I need to make bubble elevators, because I need to elevate them and drop them too close to their death so that they're all one-hit kills when they drop in. So, but to do that, I need soul sand. We don't have soul sand. Once in a while, you can get it from the traveling merchants, but so far I haven't been so lucky, and we still don't have soul sand, so we are going to need to go to the nether. So that's what the next episode is going to be, and our mission is going to be to get some soul sand. So we're going to go in, and I'll probably bring some cobblestone with me so I can protect the portal, depending on where it's ported. Eventually, we're going to make a big, really involved, pretty cool nether base. Initially, our mission is going to be to get in there, protect that portal, and find some soul sand. It would be a bonus if we were anywhere near a fortress, another fortress, because then we could get some nether wart, which we're going to need to start brewing potions as well. But our must-have mission, first thing we have to do is get some soul sand. So that's what we're going to do next episode. We're going to go into the nether and locate some soul sand. So that's kind of where we are for right now. And thank you again for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.